Hey everybody, this is the Sliders Review. I'm here today to talk to you about The Mighty Ducks Game Changers Season 1, Episode 1, Game On. Now, growing up in the 90s, I loved the Mighty Ducks movies. They were so great. I remember I saw my very first one when I was in middle school. Me and the other kids were just having a blast. It was the second movie. The first one I ever saw was the second movie. It is still by far the best one ever. And it what got me into hockey. It's like weird because I'm a black dude and I love hockey and stuff. And it's all because of that movie, just how great it was. Now, the movies didn't do so well with critics, but this show is universally praised. Now, I haven't watched the entire season. Is actually I just finally started watching it. I just watched the first episode. I gotta say, I'm hoping the other episodes get better because this is a show I've been on dying to see, but I've just been like putting it off. And so it's basically like a Cobra Kai type thing. And I love Cobra Kai. But so far, this show, something's lacking. It's the humor. I don't know how they dropped the ball on that because there's humor all throughout the entire episode. It's just nothing's funny. I probably only laughed a total of 3 times. But that's weird because there's jokes all throughout the episode. But I just didn't find nothing funny. And it has very dry, stale type of humor, and nobody's hitting their mark on the humor level, not even the adults for the most part. But there are like 3 really funny things in this episode. One, when Gordon Bombay finally comes back and he's all like, I hate kids and I hate hockey. Like, that was just hilarious. But then that's what I was very excited to see. I wanted to see him come back because Gordon Bombay was such a cool character in the movies, you know? And then another part I liked was when the Canadian dude didn't know how to skate and he was like falling down. That was hilarious. And then the part when they went in that dude's basement playing video games and he was like catching stuff like they were throwing at him. That's the only time I laughed. And you know me, I love to laugh. I laugh almost after every sentence. So for me not to laugh, that's like very odd. And this is supposed to be a comedy. And this is also on Disney. So you think there would be like funnier humor. And see, then that's the problem right there. See, the first movie was very kid oriented. It had tons of humor and you laughed. And then the second movie, they were starting to be teenagers, so they started getting older. So the humor was more in dialogue and like insults and stuff like that, and a little bit of like physical comedy, a little bit. And then the third one is kind of where the comedy kind of got sucked out of it because I think they was older in college, I think, or something like that. And the third one's not really that great because, Gordon's barely in the movie and everything's just so different and so mature. But it's a coming of age type movie type thing, so it goes full circle. People just couldn't understand that back then. But it is one of the weaker ones of the franchises. So you would think that since this is on Disney Plus and everything, and it's a TV show, they would have better humor, at least in the first episode, and they didn't. So I was like very confused by that, because that's something this movie desperately needs. It needs the humor. Not movie, but episode. Now, I do have some problems with this episode. Now, first of all, I like the story, but the story is pretty much a retread of the first movie, except for the whole thing that happened to Gordon. So basically, it's like a little junior hockey league of kids who don't know how to play hockey. They suck at it. So in comes the coach who's going to teach them how to be like superstars on the ice and stuff like that. Just like the movie. Only difference is Gordon was like a lawyer, a former hockey player who got injured. No. He was a lawyer. He got drunk and then he had to do community service teaching hockey, and he hates kids. And so then, and then after that, he played hockey and got injured. Now, I will say, Gordon was one of the best parts of the movie, and it was cool seeing him back. However, some of his lines were very stale, and he delivered them very stale too. he didn't have that charisma that he had years ago. I don't know what his acting career is like, but it felt like he had rust on him. Now, I have to say, I am very disappointed he is not going to be back for the second season. There is a dispute over supposedly him not wanting to get vaccinated. I don't know what the deal with that was, because the studio said he refused to get vaccinated, and he said that he took safety precautions and stuff like that. So I don't know what the real story with that is. All I gotta say, if he's not vaxxed, that's pretty selfish on his part, because like, he's around kids. You gotta keep them safe. You know what I'm saying? Just get over yourself and keep those little ones safe and stuff. So I don't, like I said before, I don't know if he is or not, but there's some weird stuff going on with that. So he's out for the second season, and they brought somebody else in. That one dude who stole Boba Fett's like armor from the Mandalorian, he's gonna be in there now. I think that's Fergie's ex-husband or something like that. And um, so I like the story of, like, it's a kid, and he's on the Mighty Ducks team. Oh, by the way, I love the new logo for the Mighty Ducks. I like the new uniforms and stuff. The logo is very similar to that of the cartoon logo. So like, he's on the Mighty Ducks team for his high school, or wherever they play at. But he sucks and he gets cut. This pisses off his mom. So she makes a spectacle out of herself that goes viral. So then she decides, you know what, we're going to create our own team and everything. And so they do. But these kids don't know what the world they're doing. So they need a place to practice, and they practice at a place that Gordon runs. And she's going to be the coach, even though she has no idea what to do when it comes to playing hockey. And I like the characters. I just don't like the humor. Now, here's the problems I'm having with this show so far, only in this first episode. First problem, as you know, is humor. Second problem, it focused too evenly with the kids and the adult parents. It should just focus on the kids. It's called Mighty Ducks, not called Mighty Ducks Parents. Some of the parents constantly show up, and it's get kind of annoying. That's not how the movies were. They were adults, but they were like coaches and people who were friends of the coach, and that's about it. People who help. Now, the mom, Lauren Graham, she's a huge actress. She has barely aged, dude. You know what I'm saying? And so I remember her when I first saw her from MYOB, Mind Your Own Business. It was an NBC comedy show that got canceled. I liked the first episode. One day I will talk about it. Then she did Gilmore Girls when that got canceled. Here's my problem. She's not funny in this show. And she's constantly in this show, and she's constantly talking. And not only that, but she is the last thing you see towards the end of the episode is her ice skating and everybody cheering her on, and it's her. There's too much of her. This show is not about her. This show is about the kids. But you know why she's shown a lot? One, she's a huge actress, and two, she's an executive producer. See. See, Emilio Estevez, he's an executive, well, was one on the show as well, and he starred in it. But he was barely in the first episode. She is all throughout the episode. And she steals every scene she in because of the stuff that she says and the way she acts. And see, that right there, to me, I don't care. That's just selfish. Now, I don't know if she's an executive producer in the second season or the first. I just know she is now. And so if she was in the first, that's messed up. Now, if she wasn't, then she only got so much screen time because of how famous she is. And, you know, he has to focus on the kids because most of the other kids don't show up until halfway into the episode. Now, one thing that kind of bugging me is that it's about 30 minutes to an hour long. And with an hour long, technically it's 30 minutes to like 40 minutes. So 40 minutes is about like an hour long show. I feel that's a little too long. It should have been like a 20-minute like episode, you know? Nice, short, cut to the pace. See, it should have been 20 minutes, humor, get to the point, focus on the kids, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. You know what I'm saying? and making it an hour or a standard hour long show, that's gonna bring in too much drama that we don't need and filler to fill in spaces and stuff. But all in all, I am intrigued and I am going to continue this series. I just hope it improves. I mean, if it's universally loved, then it has to be great. At least that's what I'm thinking. Because, see, I'm going to be critical of this series because I love the movies so much. It's what got me into hockey and everything. And because this is for a younger audience, but it's also for the older people. That's the only reason why they really made it, for the older fan that subscribe to like Disney Plus and watch and stuff like that. Alrighty, well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.